Okay. Hello and welcome to The Real Deal with Dee and Denice. I'm Dee Hubei, and as usual, I'm joined by my amazing co-host, Denise Newton. Denise.
Hey, everybody.
And we also have a very special guest joining us for our pod's first holiday episode. On this episode, we're going to delve into the intersection of music, politics, and social change. And to do that, please join me in welcoming renowned musician and founder of Music for Global Change, Skyler Jett. Good morning.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate your invite.
Thank you for being here. Skyler Jett's journey in the music industry has been nothing short of extraordinary. From his early beginnings to collaborating with some of the biggest names in the industry like Stevie Wonder, Mariah Carey, Barbra Streisand, Ray Charles, and many, many more, to becoming a Grammy-recognized for his work on My Heart Will Go On from the Titanic with Celine Dion, to his replacement of Lionel Richie as a co-lead singer of the Commodores. Skyler has used his platform to amplify important messages and inspire change. Skyler Jett's journey as a socially conscious singer, songwriter, and producer has taken him across the globe as a music ambassador, collaborating with like-minded artists to break down barriers of racism and challenge stereotypes through the universal language of music. Growing up in the 60s, Skyler experienced firsthand the power of music to unite and amplify voices for social justice. He witnessed the pivotal moment when music inspired young people to rise up, protest, and demand change during the Vietnam War era. And today, Skyler Jett continues to carry the torch of musical activism. As a motivational speaker, he inspires audiences and mentors young individuals, emphasizing the importance of positive lyrical content. So prepare to be inspired as we delve into Skyler Jett's remarkable journey, exploring his mission to use music as a catalyst for positive change.
Challenge the leaders of every nation, shake hands and make freeze. Music can save the world. Music can save the world. If we all get together, music can save the world.
I know Denise has a lot to say. I know I definitely want to hear a bit about your journey into music and your passion for global change. But before we jump into that, I mentioned that you're the founder of Music for Global Change. What is that?
Music for Global Change is a platform and a movement to inspire young people to write positive lyrical content. And so I travel the world and I do speaking engagements and, I challenge them to write positive music. Most of these people are writing about themselves, but the trippy thing is when I looked up love songs, there's 5 billion of them. Do we really need another love song? I mean, 5 billion, love has been said every kind of way you can imagine, right? But there's only been 192 million social conscious songs. So I'm creating a genre to grow that platform.
You said there's enough bad in the world, it's time to put some good in it.
That's right. People are tired of bad news, right? So we're going to give it some competition.
What kind of set you on your journey for this?
Well, in 1984, so right after I got out of the Commodores, I wrote a song with the bass player of the Commodores who wrote Brick House. And we wrote a tune and gave it to the state of Alabama. For every family that had 4 kids, we paid for one of their college funds, right? So we gave the money back to them. They had a really racist governor, Wallace, and we went to him and said, listen, we're going to give this to you, but we want you to play this song on it's over 300 radio stations. We want you to play this on every radio station simultaneously. And he did. And so we went on TV that night and gave the money to the kids of Alabama. And it stuck with me that we could do that. So I said to people, man, you mean we can help people buy our music instead of just taking the money ourselves and go buy cars and all that kind of stuff? And that made sense to me. So then another 20 years later, I created Music for Global Change. And it's been wonderful ever since. A lot of money at it. but it sure is inspiring people to do the right thing. So I'm happy about that. I'm flying around. I just got back from Salzburg in Austria, doing a speaking engagement for 75% women that are vocal teachers. And, you know, I told them to help you if you want to write social conscious
Calling
music.
out to the leaders of the world with a sense of community. It's time we bring self-awareness to the planet. It's a call for humanity.
And so my plan is to start doing festivals around the world, bringing talent that writes social conscious music, right?
Join a mission of songwriters who'd like to heal somebody's heart.
It's going to be wonderful because to our shows, you really don't need security because everybody's coming to hold on to each other and dance with each other and feed each other.
Let's unite all around the world and show them all we really care. We really care. For all the homeless living.
So, you know, I'm enjoying the process. And with my TV show, I get to introduce people that are behind the scenes, people that's behind the curtain, you know, like the Wizard of Oz.
TV show. Tell me more about this TV show.
Yeah, Music for Global Change broadcast on YouTube. And I've had over 150 guests, some powerful, prominent guests, you know, and they've all, you know, said they want to support and also start writing some social conscious music. So then I'll take those people and put them on concerts.
And for people who might be listening that want to connect with Music for Global Change or with you, how could they do that, Skyler?
Just go to Music for Global Change broadcast on YouTube, right? Or my website, Music for Global Change, or my Facebook, you know, Music for Global Change. And it's really cool because you can interact with some really cool, positive people, you know. That's the cool thing.
Building a community is definitely an important part of that process.
Yeah. The other day I had the first A&R for Motown. So he's the guy that discovered Stevie Wonder, right?
Wow.
He wrote Dancing in the Street. He wrote It Takes Two with Marvin Gaye, right? He's in his 80s and he's doing a movie and a book right now. So he wanted to come on my show. You know, and it's tripped how people asked to come on the show a lot, you know. I had the ambassador for Mandela on my show. She came on the show and told stories and actually asked me to bring what I'm doing to South Africa.
Wow.
I can go teach the young people there. You know, it's Music for Global Change. So I'm going to all kind of countries. I just can't get locked up in the United States, right?
Everybody in America, one love. Everybody in Australia, one love. Senegal, Gambia,
I've written about the environment.
join the movement, it won't be denied. They will never separate us if we unify. People worried about 5G. You find a misery important, take your season detoxify.
Women's empowerment with Denise.
We got the power to change the world, to change the world. We got the power to change the world, and we do it every day.
Cancer survivors.
As you take your journey, we'll keep learning, forever loving you eternally.
The homeless. You know,
Homeless living on our streets, can't even find a place to sleep. Well, this is a calling. This is a call.
you know, I started writing theme songs for foundations, and that's how it started getting kicked off, right? You had to do something new. I'm not so much into the platforms, right? Like Spotify and, you know, those other, I don't agree with them. Bette Midler, they spend her songs over 4 million times and send her a check for $114. You can't make a living like that.
I was going to ask you why you don't support platforms like that, because I knew that there was a good reason, and I don't think enough people know about that.
Well, they're not making any money, but the owners of the company making money, and they don't even write or perform music. That's wrong to me, you know. Why, I've always been against. I've had labels approach me. And I'm like, you're going to make more money than me, and I'm the one creating the content. I can't do that. It's the music business. It's not the business music.
Right.
Without music, there is no business. So it's about respect. And when I grab my the artist that's going to be on my show, I'll give them a deal, and they take 80% because they deserve it. They wrote it.
That's right.
That's the kind of precedent we should set.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Puff Daddy, he made a lot of money because he's putting old songs out and flipping them with a new twist, right? But he was only taking 15%. But if you keep getting 15% times 15% and keep going, now you got he's got a big organization now just from taking the small money, right? So I'm cool with that. I want musicians to make what they're supposed to make. And it's not right for us to do that. Now it's different anyway. They have relationships with distributing companies and all that kind of stuff back in the day. But it's all went to, social media now. So it's about getting your own fans, finding your own fans. If you go find 100, you don't need all of them. There's 330 million people in the United States. You don't need all of them. 100,000 of them paying $10 is $1 million. You can get by on $1 million.
Yep.
Yes, you can.
That's just 100,000 people. So go find your own fans, and you can make a living at it.
Yeah, and what I'm hearing too, up with the exploitation of talent, big labels, like you're saying, and these platforms are almost preying on young talent that don't necessarily know better or feel like they have any other options but to kind of succumb to these labels or these platforms. But then their talent is just kind of being used or exploited or abused in some ways for other people's gain.
And if you look at publishing, see, a lot of musicians don't know what publishing is. Publishing is the money that's played on the radio. When your record's played on the radio, see? So you had the mechanical, which was the record itself. But, when it got to number one, it has nowhere else to go. So it starts back appreciating, but not with publishing. Your song can play on the radio forever. And that's what they was doing to musicians by, I want 50% of your publishing. And musicians are like, what is that? Right? And they'd sign. And they get 50% forever. You know what I mean? If you're not going to pay me right, I don't want to be involved. I'll figure it out myself.
And speaking of the socially conscious stuff, I understand that you and Denise were co-hosts on a radio show together. You guys want to tell me about that?
Denise, I'm going to let Denise tell you about that.
So let me tell you how I met this incredible human being here. I was on the radio myself, and I had been on the radio probably about a good 2 years. And so one day this lady, and I had my show listed on a site called radioguestlist.com. And this is where people would go if they wanted to promote something or get in, to be interviewed and things like this. So this lady contacted me and she said, hey, I have this artist that is starting this positive music movement that I would like to, and I've been scrolling through these radio hosts and I came across yours, and I think that my artist would be a good fit for your show. And I want to know if you would interview him. And I said, sure. I said, so send me the information. So when she sent me the information about him, and I looked and okay, Lee took Lionel Richie's place after the Commodores, sang with Stevie and Mariah and all these people. And I was like, yeah, I definitely want him on my show, right? So I was like, this just seems so just wonderful. This guy just, and then he just seemed like he was so much fun. So we scheduled a show for the next week, and it was on a Tuesday that he came on the show at 7. So this is going to mean something in a second here. It was on a Tuesday at 7 when he came on so full of life, that laugh as you see right now, that smile. And we had so much fun on this show. And I think we ended up with well over 7,000 or 8,000 listeners. At that time, I couldn't even, my switchboard was like going nuts, right? I couldn't even get but so many people on at that time. And he was just so much fun, just a ball of fun, so much energy, and all the people that he was connected to. It was so exciting. So at the end of that show, I said to him, this was a lot of fun. And I was like, I would love to have you to come back again. And his very words to me were, what about next Tuesday? And I was like, you want to come back next Tuesday for another interview? He said, and the Tuesday after that, and the Tuesday after that. And I was like, I don't understand. He said, I would like to be your co-host. Just like that. Just like that. And I thought about it, I was like, hey, okay, cool. Let's do it.
Yeah.
The next Tuesday, we started co-hosting, and we were on together for over 3 years, starting from that point forward. Yeah. That's how it all started.
Wow. I'm glad that we saved this story for just now because that's awesome.
Mhm.
You knew that was for you, huh, Skyler? You said next Tuesday and the Tuesday after that.
She taught me all about it. I mean, like, you know, when I said, how about every Tuesday, right? And then she goes, okay, well, what do we call it? I said, solutions.
Yes.
And she goes, yeah, solutions now.
Solutions Now Radio.
Yeah. And so we start getting on the radio, and I start bringing people on the radio. And
Oh, so let me tell you some of the people I met through this person.
Yeah.
The whole Escovedo family was on our show. Girl drummer, my girl, Sheila E. Okay. Her brothers, her dad, they were all, J. Anthony Brown was on there, and he challenged her to a drum off, right? Of course, she said no, but I mean, these are the kind of people that came on the show. When he said something about Brick House earlier, he was the guy, Ronald LaBrad, the Black Women's National Anthem. He was on there. We had Antoine Fisher. We had the Occupy Wall Street people were on our show. I mean, when I say that we had some of the most powerful people, and we used to have a lot of fun on that show. It was a lot of laughter, a lot of information that was being shared. You know, we had politicians, we had musicians, we had everyday people. I had kindergartners, 5-year-olds that were on the show. So yeah, we did a lot. And Skyler and I, and the only reason the show ended is he moved across the pond.
Yeah. I moved over here, and then
Blessed just to be on with you guys right now. There's some powerful people on this podcast.
Yeah.
Where are you across the pond, Skyler?
I live just outside of London.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? About 35 minutes from London. But the cool thing is, it's like I'm doing the same thing over here. I'm inviting every guest, you know, on the show. You know, it's so much fun. But you know, my co-host, he does the editing. I say I'll just bring the guests, you do the editing, and we're a team, right? And but it's worked out really, really well. I'm on my 156th show now, and you know,
I've been a guest.
Yes, couple times. You know,
Couple times.
I've had I had the music director and conductor for the Grammys on the show. Just so Right Said Fred, just all kind of people on my show, right? And
You do the shows weekly?
Huh?
Are they weekly, the shows?
Every Tuesday we have 2 guests.
2 guests.
Yeah.
Double whammy.
30 minutes with each one. And it's very cool because they come on and tell their story. You know, everybody wants to talk about their story, and that's cool. But in the middle of the show is when I pull them back into, so what's your feelings and your thoughts about positive music? And then everybody have opinion about that. And now we're off and running about music for global change.
Well, Skyler, what's your story and what are your thoughts about positive music?
For me, it changes everything. And like when I was a youth in the 60s, the Marvin Gaye What's Going On record came out. And that was right in the middle of the Vietnam War. And I love that story because he told Barry Gordy, say, "Hey, what you gonna do now? You got these women going crazy, you know?" He said, "No, I'm gonna do a record. I gotta tell people what's going on." And that's where that title came from. it's the most beautiful album you ever want because it segues into the next song. It doesn't just stop like a tune stop. It goes. He wrote music into the next song, and so then that was going on, and then John Lennon. These are my heroes, right? Marvin Gaye, John Lennon, Bob Marley, Nina Simone. They wrote protest songs, right? And I fell in love with that. I couldn't make any money at it, but at least I was getting the word out. We need change. We have to stop racism. That's the stupidest thing mankind has ever invented. And so, and I prove my point all the time because I'm a child of both my grandparents were interracial, right? Love is love. That's what they taught me. If you care about that person, who cares what somebody else thinks?
Right.
And so, I go out. I wrote a song called "Equal" about equality. And matter of fact, I got Denise in the magazine for that.
Yeah. World Equal magazine.
Yeah.
That's matter of fact, it's sitting right over there on my table right now. That's one of my treasured possessions. And I'm in there with these heavyweight people. I'm like, little old me, how did I get in this magazine? But I'm in there, That's one thing I say to him. He always, say, Denise, you helped me during that time when you brought me on as your co-host. You helped me to get to places that I wanted to do, to get and do things I want to do. And I tell him, look what you did for me. These people that you introduced me to. I got friends. I talk to Leslie sometimes on Facebook. Leslie was part of that Grammy team. I got people that look at me like I'm somebody. You know what I mean? Like I'm somebody special because of my affiliation with Skyler. So I'd be like, oh yeah. Which one though? You want my autograph? I mean, what's up? So I mean, it's just one of those things. So you've done just as much for me. So,
but from where I'm sitting, I'm looking at two incredibly talented and incredibly powerful people. And Denise, I've seen your mini documentary in World Equal magazine, and it's incredible. And I think that the two of you are just really a great dynamic duo, and you've built off each other. Powerful change makers.
Yeah,
his voice.
We're humanitarians, right?
Yes.
And it's really wonderful when you can give yourself and share, because it's going to come back to you. It might not come by monetarily, but the blessings come back to you all the time. Because
they do.
People, I just wrote a tune called "Nobody Knows Their Name," and what that means to me is all the earth angels. So say a car flipped over. It's that one person that wouldn't pull that person out of the car. And then they walk off. You never knew their name.
Yes. And you hear about that stuff happening.
Yeah. I'm about to get this new singer on this. She's amazing. But the trippy thing is like, I want the video to be where this woman is walking down the street and on both sides of the street, you see people doing wonderful things for each other. And then they walk off. So you never knew their name because they were earth angels, right? And we need to celebrate them.
I love that.
Me too.
Yeah.
I love that.
You're in New York and the lady's in a wheelchair and it's raining and, she can't get across fast enough. Somebody grabs the wheelchair and take her across them and they walk off. So you never knew their name. See? The videos are going to be outstanding. I got to get this one other singer on there. She's amazing. She's a serious humanitarian, right? And I'm gonna get her on there, and then I'm start going at, clips for this, all around the world because I want to show it's music for global change. So I want to show people in different countries, everywhere, when you're doing something really beautiful for somebody, but then you walk off, and you don't ask for nothing. Those are earth angels.
Oh my gosh,
I love that.
Chill bumps. I love that too.
Yeah.
And he's gonna make it happen. It's just a matter of time.
Keep us up to date because I'll definitely be watching, supporting, sharing.
Yeah.
Yeah. At the beginning of the year, I got a video coming out. It's half animation. It's called Positive Vibes, right?
Nice.
And I did a speaking engagement in Dublin, Ireland, and I got a standing ovation, right? And this one lady comes up to her, she said, Scott, I have an education foundation for Africa in different places. Is there a song that would match what I'm doing? I said, I got a tune called Positive Vibes. And then I saw that she had animation. I said, can you introduce me to the animator, right? And she said, no problem, right? And so the verses are going to be in animation, but the choruses are going to be 12-year-old kids from different countries, because I sing it 21 times in the song. So I want to have different schools from different countries, and they're saying positive vibes. So from your heart, positive vibes. And you'll see on every time I sing that in the song, you'll see different kids from different countries.
I told you.
Yeah, I'm gonna be following this journey, Skyler.
Thank you. Do you know the band U2?
Yeah.
Okay, so I tell her they're about to fly me into Dublin. I said, I want you to get me a studio big enough where I can have 12 kids in where they're comfortable. And she got me U2 studio. How beautiful is that? And these kids were so adorable. They're like, you sang on the Titanic? And so cute, adorable, and they sang with me, and I helped them with their harmonies, and so they're the first ones on there. And then now we have to go get the other 20 countries, right? And so by around January, we'll have this thing ready to go. It says, start your day in a good mood. So love around the world. Teach the lessons of love and peace to every man, woman, boy, and girl. Hold the light where it's needed. A smile will brighten up your day. Don't let stress get the best of you. Everything is going to be okay.
I know it's a bit later for you, but that started my day off on a good note, I'll tell you that.
Yes. And that's what he did, like with our radio show. It was always about, like you said, positive vibes, find whatever was working and bring that to light, or work toward, or talk about something that, you're working towards making something better. And I totally believe now, and I know I got this from you during all that time, that when I get into these modes or these moods where everything just seems to be spinning out of control, the first thing I go for is music, right? Because it's definitely therapeutic. I don't need a pill. I don't need a shot. I go and find something that goes to whatever it is I'm feeling, that will be therapeutic, that will bring me out of that thing. And I can always find a song that will do it. And 9 out of 10 times is one of yours, to be honest. I can always find a song, whether that's, I go back and I listen to songs like Eternally, like you sent me Eternally for my mom's funeral, and everybody just went crazy over that song. It just changed the whole atmosphere of a funeral, because it wasn't that solemn, somber thing. Everybody was just focused on the words and the voice behind the words. And they were like, where did you find that song? And I said, I didn't find it. It was sent to me. And
Whether we're young, whether we're old, we leave a story to be told.
And, so I had to brag a little bit on that. But anyway, and then, the songs that, Peace is the Answer.
The leaders of the world, stop the violence, stop the violence. Mother should be laughing and not crying. This is the answer to all the problems of our world.
All of these songs that you've written over the years. But there are times when I won't lie, there are times when things that are going on in the world maybe not feel so great. And then when I get in those moods, I have to reach for music, because nothing else works. Nothing else speaks to that issue like music does.
It's every topic it is in music, right? So you can find something, I love that when you came on our show and you said you go home and put some music on and it's all gone.
Yes, you remember that.
Oh yeah, that's on your interview on my show. I love that. Right? It's been a journey. So, you know what I mean? Just put everything in perspective, and like I said, I know this is working because I hear when people go, Scott, I love this. I'm glad I was involved in this, right? And that's a endorsement that it's hard to get right there. You know,
That's more
I
of
had
a,
a good time here. Huh?
I said that's more of a reward than the money almost.
It is. You know, you make somebody smile, that, oh, golly. And they was like, man, I needed that. Right?
As I was looking into your background a bit for us to do this episode, I listened to an interview that you had done, and you talked about how music is healing and music is education, as we're cutting funding for musical education and the arts. And I was fortunate enough when I was growing up to be able to still have music, but I don't believe that my school still has that program for kids. And I found that to be really healing and really important. And just like we were mentioning earlier, sometimes when you're in a sad mood, I'm the same way. The only thing that can really break me out of that or make me feel something or make me get better is listening to music and just kind of detaching and being a part of the world that's created in my headphones or in my, in the music around me. And so I was just kind of interested to hear your take on it for myself, Skyler.
Thank you. Well, you know what? I'm having a lot of fun at it because I know it's healing people, right? I write music that heals, educates, and solves problems with beautiful notes. That's all it is. You know, it's a trip because for a long time I'd send Denise whenever I finish a song. I send it to, I might not be all the way finished, but I sent it to her, right? So she go, Skyler, that one's on hit. That's on, and it's beautiful because, she's not judging me. She's just going by the content.
That's it. And every time he was saying, he was like, I'm getting ready to send it to you. And I would sit down like, yes, yes, yes. And I would be like, I know he's going to say, you say that about all my music, but it's the truth about all the music. It's like everyone is just like, this is the one right here. This is it. And that's how I feel about his music. And I've told him so often, his voice is so beautiful. And it still is to this day. His singing voice, it just takes you places when he's singing. It's like you just going on a journey because Skyler doesn't sing to be singing. Skyler puts his whole being into singing, because he's on a mission when he's singing. He's really reaching people. And that's the difference. Some people just sing because they have the talent to sing. He has the talent, yes, but he's not singing from talent. He's singing from the depths of his soul because that is his calling. And mention it, that's one of my other favorite songs, This Is a Calling, which is one of his songs too.
Every family around the world feeling distressed and destitute. Hey, this is a calling. Calling out around the world for everyone to feed the homeless, feed the homeless and sisters.
And Skyler is just fascinating with his music. And for me to have met him blindly like I did and learn him along the way, it's just like every week I learned something new about my own co-host, and it was like that. And still to this day, I still listen to his music, and it still has a lot of healing agent to it. You have to keep it, and I know you will, but you have to keep it up. It's a salve.
Yeah, the movement is growing. Yeah, the movement is growing, and I'm really happy about that because all my guests are really international guests, right? It's not like a state or a local radio. I have guests from all over the world, and it's really wonderful for them to come on and express their feelings about social change and how we can use music to share with people and, change the world. It's that powerful.
Urgency, facing our humanity. I know we can all agree. It's our responsibility. So music can save the world.
Change the world. It's that powerful.
When you said Denise was going to say that about all of your music, I know one thing for sure, Denise is not a liar. So if Denise is saying it's good, it is good.
It is really good. And and something else too, Skyler is, the name of our show is the Real Deal. And Skyler really is the real deal. I've seen him just stand firm on his convictions about things. He does take a political stance, as all of us do, because this is our world and we all have a voice in it. And he doesn't deviate from what he believes in, and that just validates who you are, and then his music backs up what he feels and what he believes. And he's been in this business a long time, and and he is still the same Skyler. And that's the thing that I love to see, and another thing when we were on that he used to say a lot was, when I said one time, it's like our show was like sitting in your living room having a cup of coffee. That's how it was with our guests. It was just like that chilled atmosphere, come in, we're just having a conversation. But through that, we were able to network and build a network of people just from everywhere. We just built this network, and we were like a hub, and people were just coming in. Like he was talking about his show now, that's how our radio show was. People was just coming. People were coming saying, can I be a guest? Can I come on? And sure, if you got something to say, come on, let's talk about it. Let's do this. And that's how it was. And I still have people have come to me and say, are you still on the radio? And I would say, no, I haven't done radio since Skyler left, but I have a podcast now, and I'll let you know when we'll start taking guests. So I'll have you to know that you are a first, because you are the first live guest that we've had on the show.
This is wonderful. I got a song that might be cool. It's called Keeping It Real.
Keeping it real. I'm just keeping it real. I'm just keeping it real. The journey of life is so surreal.
When I had my heart attack, and the next morning after my surgery, I wrote Keeping It Real, right? And it's for people that's been through some kind of trauma. Just keeping it real. Like, when I finally start walking, and I was walking down the streets, and I had to walk.
Desire to inspire someone younger than you.
Right?
Teach them to know
I was looking for flowers, and usually you just walk right by the flowers. Our day-to-day living, we just walk. Now I stop and look at them and go over and smell them, and everything else is different, right? I stood up on a mountain, looking up at the sky, feeling so blessed, my friend, thankful just to be alive.
Feeling so blessed, my friends, thankful just to be alive.
I'm gonna send you this song. It's really, really wonderful, and I'm about to release that one too. I got all kind of stuff, really, really beautiful. I wrote it with Urs.
Witzendanger. How do you say his name? I know he's a butcher his name all the time.
Witzendanger.
Yes, I love his music.
Yeah, he's the biggest producer in Switzerland. But this song is so powerful. I just wrote another one called Smoking to Free My Pain. Like I said, it's medicine. It's helping people, I always wanted to have this guy on my show who was at my wedding. And he said, it's medicine, Skyler. Hey, this guy is the guy that started medical marijuana, right? And he told us how he did it. He went to a bunch of doctors. He says, for your cancer patients, is there anything helping your cancer patient? He said, I give them herb, and they eat, and they stay along. They keep living because they're eating, right? So it's crazy. But my buddy, up in Denver, he said it's so legal up here, Sky. You can go to KFC and buy it. You drive up. I want a wing and a breast and a bag of that, right? That's what's going on in Colorado. But see, that plant was around before humans was here. So how do you regulate that? A man is always trying to make some money off of it. That's why it's like that, right?
Yes.
I
I mean,
love
that's why
that.
it's criminalized anyway, because money's always got to be put into everything. And they knew way back when, and hemp paper would be cheaper and better for the environment to produce than paper from trees. So you had like DuPont Paper Company team up with the alcohol industry, pour all this money into this campaign, and now they have it as a Schedule I drug on class with heroin. Meanwhile, we know that there's a very big difference between, I think, a drug like heroin and marijuana, but it's what happens when you put money in. Money talks and money makes laws, and that's just not how it should be.
Not to mention Big Pharma, they want to pump us, with their expensive meds. And when these plants got healing agents to them, everything come from plants, and so yeah.
Yeah, but the cool thing is we having, the older people going, you know what? It helps me stay alive. You know what I mean? It's a plant, and it's like I said, being around before we were here, right?
Even if it's not healing in its own right, it can still be helpful. If you have somebody going through chemo, can't eat, they, are so uncomfortable, nauseous, and then they're able to partake in that. Now all of a sudden they're able to eat. They're not nearly as, nauseous all the time. Their stomach is settled. Who are you to take that away from someone if it's
Absolutely.
not pain at all?
I was saying to you guys, what do you think was in the peace pipe? Right?
Yeah.
I can imagine what was in the peace pipe.
Maybe put that gun down and hit this right here, right?
Right.
Down and hit this right here, right?
Right.
That's peace, right? But see what happens.
That's the kind of smoke I want.
I'm only saying, Colorado, it's doing so well in Colorado, but they're paying for all the schools. They're getting money back on their taxes because of it. So that's why the other states is going to shoot. Bring it over here. Let's build some roads and all kind of stuff, right?
Yeah. They're making, in California, they're making millions and millions and millions, like hundreds of millions per quarter in taxes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, even if they don't want to do it for the right reasons, I think these states should do it for these selfish reasons. You can make all
Right.
revenue money and you can put it into good way, like use it for good things, feed kids at school. I mean, just so many things that you could be doing with it.
Stop incarcerating people for marijuana. I
And
mean, you could go right now and clear out half the prisons for
Yeah.
people that are locked up for marijuana.
it costs so much money to put somebody in prison. I mean, in Pennsylvania, I think it's like $42,000+ a year per person that's incarcerated.
Newsom's about to let all of them out, right? Look, nobody's died over weed, but they
Not for
died over
marijuana.
alcohol. No, but they died over alcohol and fentanyl.
Yeah.
Opioid.
I just got back from the States, and I was up in Seattle, and my cousin picked me up, and he took me to his house. But down in the lowlands, he showed me these people that was on fentanyl. Now go get that stuff off the street.
That's right.
You know what I mean? That made me not want to go back home. After that, I was like, man, this is messed up. But guys, I'm gonna keep writing about how we could change things, right? And I wrote a song and I dedicated it to dancers, right? Because when COVID was going on, they was out of business too, right? And then I wrote songs in my mind.
That was nice. Yes.
Yeah, and I had people from around the world just get their phone and start dancing.
Uh-huh.
I can't wait to take the stage tonight. I'm gonna dance like I'm losing my mind. Clear some space.
Uh-huh.
Right?
It was almost like Happy, like Pharrell's Happy. It was on that line.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I used a string line that I used in a birthing film, right? There was a place in Russia where women were going to give birth in the Red Sea, in this one part that was warm, right? And I wrote this song, Precious Flowers, for them. And I took the string line from that was in the movie, and I put a beat on it for dance, right? That's on YouTube too. Dance Like I'm Losing My Mind, Skyler Jett. But I got this young guy from Copenhagen. He's singing it. But we have to spread the love, guys. You know, whenever somebody says something negative, say something positive, see what happens to them. Right? If you got a lot of people in the room and they're all complaining, it's that one person that walks around, hey guys, you know what we can do? It changes the whole attitude. Because they go, yeah, and we can do this too. And we can see it changes, you know, just a little bit of positivity can knock that negativity to the side. And now they ain't got nothing to do because they're used to this negative mantra about themselves, right? You know, complaining. I can't go around people that complain because I mess them up and go, what's the solution then? They don't have that. That's what our radio show was about.
Solutions now.
Yeah, and those Solutions Now Radio. That's what it was.
With that. It's one thing to complain, but to complain without any idea of how to make things better is just, you know.
This is what I say about our current atmosphere in America. There's a lot of anger, some of it manufactured. There's a lot of anger and out there, but my thing is it's okay to be angry and disappointed, but what is your solution to the problem? So while we're doing all of the screaming and yelling into the void, why don't we come together, have forums, set up forums where people can talk and say, listen, why don't we do A, B, C, D? It's enough of the screaming and yelling. It's getting us nowhere because all it's doing is making everybody miserable. And, you know, start talking about how we can fix it because we have a world to leave to some youth, to the younger ones. And this world's so fractured. So give us something to work on that we can hand something off that's useful to the next generation instead of them picking up how to scream and yell into the void. Because right now, that's what we're handing off to them.
At the very least, come together to brainstorm. I understand you may not have the solution, and that's because nobody has the solution. It's
Not at this point.
together that make the best solutions. And at the very least, try to do that.
Talk to each other and not at each other.
Listen actively.
Yeah. Let's talk.
One of my favorite sayings from Mandela is, it's only impossible until you make it possible.
Absolutely. I take a lot from somebody you mentioned earlier, Thandi, President Mandela's ambassador. That's Mama T to me, of course. I know her personally as well. Somebody who was exiled from her country for 33 years because she stood up against and spoke out against apartheid. And during that time, women were supposed to be seen and not heard. She was supposed to be a teacher, a nurse, that type of thing, but she was a very vocal activist who was under the threat of assassination, you know, and for 33 years, she couldn't go home because they wanted her head, you know. So I learned so much from Mama T, you know, about looking for, but she never wavered. She never backed down from what she felt. She was anti-apartheid. She stood strong, even though she lost family members during that time and everything. But, you know, people died while she was in exile. But she knew what her calling was, and she stood strong and she stood firm on that. And she's still living. And she has invited me over to South Africa numerous times, and it's in my spirit. I have to go at some point. She's 86 now.
We're going.
It's in my spirit. I have to. I just feel like I got to, and I got to go soon because she wants me to come. She told me one time, there's some things I want to impart into you, and I got to go get it.
Yeah, it was mind-blowing when she was on my show, and she goes, they want to kill her because she was one of the first women to vote for Mandela. And she was going through a village and then killing all kinds of people. And some people hid her, right? But after they were gone, she buried 12 bodies by herself. Right?
Incredible woman.
Yeah. But she's like, Scotty, you got to bring music for global change to South Africa. I said, I'm there. You know, I went to Rwanda and I did a show for the kids in Rwanda, you know. Ghana.
You got to do it. And when you do something in South Africa, I will have my passport ready.
No, we going together. I'm gonna tell you when I'm going.
Please. Yes.
You'll link us up on some accommodations or something like that. And then we'll go talk.
And she's in Jayburg now.
Yeah. So we'll keep it, we're gonna keep it flowing, but keep the music flowing, right? that's my job, is to keep the music flowing where people can heal themselves and educate each other and solve problems with the music, right? If I can keep inspiring young people to do that, then we'll grow that, and they can't take that away from it. It can't be about
It's
me.
true.
It's got to be about us.
About us, yes. If there was like one message or one idea that you could have all young people or just all people in general hear, what would that be for you, Skyler? What would you say?
Find somebody to go hug,
I love that.
right?
I'm giving you guys hugs.
Find somebody to go hug. It changed their life, right? So, and why are you doing that? I'm doing it because I love people, and I want you to share your love with other people. It's like when I'm teaching young people, I say, listen, I'm not going to charge you for this, but you got to go teach this to somebody that's younger than you. And they're cool with that. I love them when they call me back and they go, Skyler, it's just something about how they say that. Skyler, I already know they wrote a social conscious song, right? So, my job was done. I inspired them to do something really beautiful for each other.
It's like you said with your song, nobody knows their name. Like those random acts of kindness, those good things that good people do just out of the kindness of their heart, not for recognition, not for any other reason than to just be good. That has ripples throughout everybody around them. You do one nice thing for somebody, that person passes it on, and now this one small random act of kindness has touched the lives of who even knows how many people.
That's
Right.
right.
Absolutely.
Find somebody
Absolutely.
to hug and go find humanitarians and thank them for, being selfless. You know what I mean? For sharing. Because if we share with each other, that's more than money. It's not, like I said, it's not money that makes things happen. We make things happen. Of course, you got to get paid to live, but I can help you build your house, and you can help me build mine. Right?
That's right.
All we got to do is buy the materials, right? And then we pass that on. When I was saying about the 100,000 people, if you go to somebody and say, hey, listen, would you spend $10 with me just once a year? Well, we get 100,000 people do that. That's $1 million a year. Now, let me help you sell your record, right? Let's go. Let me find somebody to spend some money on your record. If we do that for each other, we don't need the government. You don't have to ask them for nothing. We're doing it for ourselves.
Cut out the middleman.
Cut the middleman all the way out. The scavengers, anyway. You're just like,
Some of them really are.
But using my tax money for war and use it to feed kids.
That's it. Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. Oh, I love that. See, I feel better already because I felt sucky this morning when I got up.
But I love you guys for having me. Thank you for inviting me. It really
Thank
been
you for
wonderful.
being here.
Yeah.
To end this episode out, unless we have any more comments.
Denise?
I'm good. I'm good. I just love you. I just love you. That's it. That's the post.
I'm all on that love train.
Yeah. Well, group hug. It's a group hug.
If you can tell, this episode did help Denise. This morning she was not feeling her best, and now it looks like you're like a huge weight has been lifted off your shoulders,
I
Denise.
did because I should have watched those videos before I came home.
I do anything.
You knew this was the place to come.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
absolutely. It was. It really was.
Congratulations on your launch. And I'll definitely be telling people about it. And we'll put this show on my TV show. We'll put the link for this show on there. Okay?
And we'll be linking yours as well.
Namaste, Denise. And
Namaste. I love you, big brother. I can't wait. I already know you're gonna keep me abreast of what you're doing, and here at The Real Deal with Dee and Denice, we're gonna be keeping up with you all, the whole way. Whatever you're doing, we're gonna be supporting you.
100% of the way.
let me send you, just keep it real. And if there's somebody that's going through something trauma-wise in their life, send that to them, because it brings it all in perspective. We're still here. That's what I look at every single morning. Hey, I woke up again. Doesn't matter about yesterday. So I love you guys, okay?
Thanks, Sky.
Thank you so much.
I'm looking forward, Dee. It's really wonderful to meet you.
It was wonderful to meet you too. Thank
Meet
you
you
so
all.
much, Skyler.
Well,
She's
I'm glad
amazing.
yeah,
I'll tell you one day how I met her, but
That's a story, a story and a half.
it is.
Well,
But Sky, we love you. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much.
okay, I love you too. Stay blessed. Stay blessed, never stress, and stay away from the devil's mess. And you'll be fine.
That one.
Right?
All right. Bye-bye.
Listeners, that does it for us this week. Thank you for tuning in and staying informed and being a part of our podcast community. You can follow us on social media, Spotify, and YouTube at @TheRealDeal_pod. Again, that's at @TheRealDeal_pod. Let us know your thoughts and questions because we want to hear them. So don't hesitate to reach out to us. Your engagement would really mean the world to us.